everyone. Welcome everyone. Today I want to do something different with the sports updates. Figured I'd go live and look over the sports recaps. Scores that have been made by my own high school, the Arizona Wildcats, ASU, NAU, and Nebraska. So let's get over it. Let's get to it. Okay, okay, get it out of here. Okay, let's look over here. So I didn't do much. I didn't re do an update last week because I was busy. So I want to do a new one this this week. Kidding me? Let me close that. I don't know why I did that. Okay, let me get back up. I honestly don't know why I did that. Okay, so let's see. Well, actually, wait. They did play against the Skyline Coyotes before. So it looks like the Bulldogs took the victory by defeating the Coyotes by, let's calculate, let's do the math. So 34 minus 6. So it looks like the Bulldogs defeated the Skyline Coyotes by 28 points. And it looks like they played a good game against the Skyline Coyotes. And looked like they did well. Okay, how's it? Okay, here we go. And last week, which was Tuesday the 19th, they played against Campo Verde. Well, the Campo Verde Coyotes. So it looks like the Bulldogs lost by them by 23 points because quarter one Goldwater didn't score anything. Quarter two, both Campo and Goldwater didn't score anything, and quarter three they didn't score anything. And then quarter four, Campo scored 7 and Goldwater scored 12. So that's about 7 minus 12, negative 5 points for Goldwater. And that's how they lost by 28 points. But I'm sure they tried their best. That's what matters. And they got a game coming up this Friday, and that and they're gonna be playing against North Mustangs. And wonder where that's at. Let's look at the preview. Okay, it's at North High School. I'm gonna I'm gonna go to the maps. So let's go to maps. Get rid of this. North High School. And yep, this is where the Goldwater Bulldogs are gonna be playing against at. I'm gonna be playing against these guys over on 1101 East Thomas Road, Phoenix, Arizona, 850-114. I mean 14. So that's where they're gonna be playing against at. I'm playing against these team at. So that's down there. Okay, what's great. Let me turn off the camera. Why does this happen to me? Jeez. Okay, let's turn my camera back on. Okay, let's now go to volleyball. Let's see if they did anything. Okay, so it looks like, hold up. Let me do the volleyball. Let me know flag first, man. So let's see what they did. So it looks like they took the win by defeating Skyline by 31 points. And looks like Goldwater did a well done job for freshman football. And what I could say is that the Skyline Coyotes didn't do well for freshman football as well, because they got their butts kicked by the Goldwater Bulldogs. And I thought they were going to show the numbers on quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4 for both teams, but I guess not. But it looks like they played a good game though. And I'm glad that the freshman football for Goldwater Bulldogs played a good game. Let's look at the other. Let's look at the other game. Okay, so for this one, The Goldwater freshman football didn't win, but um they only lost by 1 point against the Campo Verde Coyotes, and they were so close though. It was a close game though, but even though I hope they play the next game well against the next team, and hopefully the Goldwater Bulldogs will win the next game for freshman football. So it's so the next games that they have. So it looks like they're going to be playing against North High School, Dobson, Clinton, Sunny Slope, Ironwood, and Paradise Valley. So they got like, well, they're playing against North Mustangs this Tuesday. Well, actually, no, Wednesday. I don't know why I said Tuesday. But the other games that they have upcoming are Dobson, McClinton, Sunny Slope, Ironwood, and Paradise Valley. So that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they got 5 games to go till football season comes to an end. Hopefully they'll do well for the next game. Okay, let's get out of here and go to volleyball. Okay, it looks like the varsity volleyball did a good game by playing against Copper Canyon, Aztecs, and this was a good game for the Goldwater Bulldogs. So basically, they scored 2 points against the Copper Canyon, and Copper Canyon, on the other hand, lost by lost by 2 points. So this was a good game for Goldwater and Copper Canyon. So the first set, they both scored 23 and 25. Set 2, 25 and 15. Set 3, 25 and 23. And set 4, 25 and 19. So 23, 25, 25, 25. Let's calculate that. Okay, never mind. I'll lower that. And this is how I can see that volleyball did a good game for the Goldwater Bulldogs. And this was a good game for them. And this is a good game for Goldwater Bulldogs and Copper Canyon. So let's look at the next one. Okay, so they played against Coronado. So Goldwater Bulldogs scored 3, and the Coronado Dons didn't score anything. They lost by 0. So let's look at the sets here. So set 1, set 2, and set 3. So the first one, Coronado scored 12, and set 2, Coronado scored 23, and set 3, Coronado scored 13. So that means they didn't win anything. But for Goldwater, for set 1 and 2 and 3, they scored 25, 25, 25. So this was a good game for the Goldwater Bulldogs against the Coronado Dons. So they definitely won by 3. And I'm glad that the Goldwater Bulldogs played a good game. So let's look at the next one. Okay, so this game they didn't win anything. They lost by 0. They lost by 0, and they were defeated by the Gilbert Classical Academy Spartans, and the Spartans won by 2. So this means Goldwater lost the game against the Spartans. So for set 1 and set 2, the Bulldogs didn't. I mean, they scored 21 for set 1, and set 2 they scored 81. I mean 18, which means they both. I mean, this means they scored 18 and 21, and they didn't win anything. But for Gilbert Classical Academy, they scored 25 and 25, and they won 2 points. But they'll play. um, I'm sure they'll do well. Let's look over at Greenway. So it looks like Goldwater scored and won their victory against the Greenway Demons, and that's where my friend Kennedy Thomas attends. So basically, for sets 1 and 2 and 3, Greenway scored 26, 19, and 13, and they didn't win. For Goldwater, they scored 28, 25, and 25. So this means the Goldwater Bulldogs took the victory and defeated the Greenway Demons, which was good. And they're going to be playing again. Oh wait, so this coming Thursday they're going to be playing against Paradise Honors at 6 p.m. And hopefully they'll win this game, cause why did that? Because I'm sure the Bulldogs will play well against them. So hopefully this will go as well. So let's look over on Goldwater Bulldogs flag football. Okay, let's look at the schedule. Okay, so their first game. Oh, great. Sorry about that, guys. I had some Mormon people come by to talk about the Lord and all that stuff. So left off here on Goldwater Bulldogs versus Lee Williams Volunteers. So it looks like the Goldwater Bulldogs didn't win flag football, so perhaps 30 minus 7. So the Lee Williams Volunteers won 23 points and won their victory against the Goldwater Bulldogs by 7. So perhaps so pretty much the Goldwater Bulldogs lost by 23 points. And it's a bummer that the Goldwater Bulldogs flag football didn't win. But there's always another chance that they'll win. So let's look at the other game. So they putting why did I do that? Oops. Okay, so it looks like the Goldwater Bulldogs didn't do well against Boulder Creek Jaguars because they lost by 0, and the Jaguars won by 44 points. All I can say is the Goldwater Bulldogs flag football have to do well because this score that they got doesn't look too good. But what I can say is hopefully they'll do better for the next game because they have a game coming up today. They're going to be playing against Flagstaff. Well, I mean the Flagstaff Eagles. And this is going to be at 6 p.m. So hopefully everyone who attends at Goldwater, make sure to support your girls' flag football today. So I hope they'll win. Okay, let's now move on to ASU. Okay, so last week, wait, no, week before, go what the Sun Devils. Oh wait, actually, 2, 3. So 3 weeks ago, the ASU Sun Devils lost against Mississippi State, and also the score would be so Mississippi, excuse me, ASU lost by 4 points against Mississippi State, and Mississippi State won by 4 points from September 6th. And so 2 weeks ago, Arizona State won against Texas State by 19 points, And same for Texas State, they lost by 19 points. But this was a good game for ASU. And what I could say is they did well for that game. And then that in the other game from a week ago, they played against Baylor, so they won 3 points against the Baylor Bears. And this was a good game though. And even though they have some other games coming up, like they're going to be playing against TCU, and for the games that are coming up in October and November, it hasn't been announced yet for October 11th, October 18th, October 25th, November 1st, November 15th, November 22nd. Okay, now we got a new update for November 28th. So perhaps ASU will be playing against the Arizona Wildcats at 7 p.m. And this is on a Friday. So I hope I I plan to take my dad to this game. So figure that's a new update for November 28th. Let's check out U of A. Okay, so it looks like 2 weeks ago, it looks like U of A played a great game against the Kansas State, and they scored 6 points against the Kansas State. And this was a good game though, because the Kansas State lost by 6 as well. And this was on the theme night of Retro Night. So this was a good game. And the next game they're going to be playing again is Iowa State. And they're going to be playing against them on the 27th, which is and in October they're going to be playing against Oklahoma State on the 4th, which is on Hispanic Heritage. And for these days, November 11th, October 11th, October 18th, and November 1st, they're going to be playing these guys on the family weekend. So there hasn't been any time announced yet for BYU, Houston, and Colorado. Hopefully soon they'll announce it. And for homecoming military appreciation, they're going to be playing against Kansas and Cincinnati. So, and basically they're going to be playing against these guys on November 8th and November 15th. So, hopefully they'll do well for these two games. And for senior day on November 22nd, U of A will be playing against the Baylor Bears. And the time hasn't been announced yet, but soon it will. And for the 99th, the Territorial Cup, which is the 99th, U of A will be playing against ASU at 7 p.m., which is going to be up here in Phoenix, I'm in Tempe Town Lake, and they're gonna premiere this on Fox. So that's my new update for U of A and ASU. Hopefully they'll do well. So let's now look over NAU. Okay, so sorry about that. My dad was coughing. Okay, September 6th, the NAU football team played against Utah Tech, and looks like NAU won about 7 points against Utah Tech. And this was a good game though. And the next game that they played, which was Southern Utah, and they won 3 points against Utah by by defeating them. And this was a good game though. And this was on the 13th. And this week, oh wait no, last week they played against number 19 and 14 UIW, and they scored 8 points against the 1914 19/14 UIW, and this was on family weekend. And their next game they're going to be playing again is Portland State. And they got and the other games they're going to be playing against is Montana State, UC Davis, Idaho State, Idaho, Northern Colorado, Cal Poly, and Weber State. So pretty much their very last game will be on the 22nd of November. So they got some games that could be playing. So hopefully they'll do well. So let's look over the University of Nebraska. Why did I say it wrong? Oh, dang it. I have to go to the schedule. I did like how they changed this picture. It looks like they updated a new photo onto their screen, and there's a lot of people in red in the stands. So let's look over. Okay, so it looks like the Nebraska Huskers took the win against Houston Christian, and they won about 52 points from September 13th, and the Houston Christians lost by 52 points. So this was a good game for Nebraska, and the game that they lost. So basically, Nebraska lost by 3 points against Michigan State. I mean against Michigan. Even though this was a tough game though, and this was last Saturday, a week ago. So I hope they do well. And for this game, Nebraska is going to be playing against Michigan State, and this is going to be at 3 p.m. on October 4th. And basically, that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's about 11 days from now. Well, right here is a countdown. So basically 10 days, 24 hours, 15 minutes, and 3 seconds. So I'm pretty sure that I'll play well against these guys, and hopefully it will be a good game. And let's see how many games they have left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they got 7 games left during the football season. And I have to say, I hope they do well. And if they don't do well, there'll always be another time, like another game that they'll play. So hopefully they'll do well the next game I meant. Because I figured they're going to be playing against this game. So I hope you all enjoyed my my new sports updates, and there will be more coming up soon. And thanks for watching, and have a good day.